If you're new to the Medela Magic InBra wearable breast pump, then this video is for you. I am going to walk you through all the different components that make up this wearable breast pump, how to assemble them, how to clean them, as well as how to use the Medela Magic InBra wearable pump so you can get the most out of it. So let's start by taking a look at the different components that make up this pump. Now, there are a few components to this, but on the plus side, it is really quite simple to put together once you are used to it. It's nice and easy to clean. So let's go through them. First of all, you have your pump motor. Now, this is what creates and drives your suction. It also has your manual control panel on here. The Medela Magic is also app integrated, so I'll walk you through how to use it with the app shortly. You have your flange. Now you have a 21mm as well as a 24mm flange that come with your pack. You have your yellow diaphragm, your yellow valve, as well as your grey shield valve, and then you have your collection container. Now this is a two-part, but it also has a hinge on it, so it clips together, and this is where all your milk pools during your pumping session. So how does it all go back together? Let's start with your yellow valve. Now you'll see here there is a little space. This connects over the base of your nipple tunnel with your collection cup. Once you have that in place, make sure it is nice and firm. We're going to hinge this back up and flip it over. Now it has a locking mechanism on it. Now we simply push this up to lock it or slide it down to unlock. This also will act as a cap for our pouring spout. So during the session, you are not losing any of your breast milk ideally. Once we have that connected, we are going to place our diaphragm. It simply slots onto the top here. Now, there is only one way for this to go. So the little icon here that is facing up, and we push that in nice and flat. It's important to have these all in nice and securely. Any gaps will lead to potential loss of suction or leaks. So make sure these are all nice and firm in place. Then we're going to take our grey shield valve. Now you can see here it only fits in one way. You're going to line up this extra tag here with the base on the side, and then that simply pushes on nice and firm so it's not wobbly. And then we take our flange. You can see here that it has a base to it, so we're going to be having the pointy end up the top with the number facing up. The base, it lines up as well. There's a little ridge here, so it all lines up. Push that in nice and firm till you hear it click into place. And then we take our completed collection container. We line up this little droplet here with the droplet there, and then this simply hooks around, so it slides around to lock into place. And that is your completed assembled Magic InBra wearable pump. So how do we then use it? We are going to make sure before we use it that we have washed our hands, all the components have been sterilized, and it is ready to go. The first thing we are going to do is to line up our nipple. So once we power on our pump, this is one of the things I love about this pump. It also has a light in it, so we can make sure our nipple is nicely aligned. So we want to make sure in our bra it is centrally located, that it can move nice and freely within the flange tunnel. This is a really important time to make sure that you have measured your nipple and flange sizing correctly. You want to make sure that it's not too big or too small, because that's going to cause damage to your nipple and potentially impact your overall output. So if you need to purchase a larger flange size, you can. Otherwise, you can use a flange insert if you're looking for a smaller sizing. So this is an 18mm flange insert. It fits into my 24mm flange, and it simply pushes in, and what this does will then reduce my flange tunnel down to the 18mm size. So measure those nipples, make sure that you have your correct flange size before starting. So we line up our nipple, we pop our pump in our bra, we can check that we have the correct alignment with the light. Now, I'm going to turn this off for a second. So when we are wanting to connect this to the app, we turn on our pump. Now, see how I've got this blue light that comes on? That is connecting it to my pump. If you need to pair a new pump, so it's the first time you do it, you press this pair a new pump, hold the power button until your pump turns on, and then it will ask you to hold down the play and pause button until you see the flashing blue light, around 5 to 10 seconds, and then it will go through connecting your pump and you'll be ready to go. Once your pump's turned on, you can then select the left or right side. If I go over to my pumping tab, it will ask me simply to choose which side I am pumping on. So let's go for the left. Then we can press OK. Now, to start the pump, you have two options depending if you're going to be using this with or without the app. Without the app, you simply press the play. With the app, you simply press start. Now, one thing I will just say, there are a lot of sensors with this pump. So if you're not having milk flow or your nipple in there properly, you won't have the full settings. It will pause on you. So for this demonstration, obviously I don't have my nipple in there, so I don't expect this to be able to run through the full settings. You may hear a little bzz alarm with flashing lights. That's simply because I do not have this with milk going into it. And at the base of your flange tunnel, there is sensors in there. So if you're not aware, with this pump, it has what they call fluid fill technology, and that is designed to have a little bit of residual breast milk sitting at the base of this tunnel. And because of that, it acts as a lubricant for your nipple during your pumping session, making it more comfortable and potentially helping with your output. So unfortunately, because of that, there are also a ton of sensors, so it makes a demo a little bit harder, but work with me here. So my nipple is now in, it's nice and central. I've got a nice secure pumping bra holding this in place so it doesn't move while I am pumping. We're going to hit the start button. Now this will start in your stimulation. Now stimulation are those short suctions for initiating the letdown. It will automatically start for 2 minutes and then switch over to your expression mode, which are the longer drawn out suctions for drawing out your breast milk. Now in here, it's paused. Sorry, I knew it would with the error. You can also adjust a plus or a minus for your suction strength. So 5 being the highest, down to a 1 if you prefer a gentle suction. Have a play around. My recommendation is to always start at a 1 to 2 and then work your way up if you feel you need it. If you don't, then start at the around the 1 to 2. Okay, and then we're wanting to, it will automatically go into the stimulation. Let's see if I can get this across. So to change it on your pump, we're simply going to press this expression or the stimulation mode, and that will change us over. Now, one thing to note in the expression mode is that it actually starts on a level 4. Now that's quite high for an initial expression. I do recommend, let me change it. Do recommend starting on that 1 to 2, see how comfortable it feels. You can go up to as high as 10 for your suction levels if you prefer it a lot stronger of a pull. Have a play around, see what your body reacts to, and go from there. Again, even though this automatically has your 2 minutes for stimulation mode and then goes to expression, you don't have to stay in that expression mode for your whole pumping session. Some people respond better to multiple letdowns, so 5 minutes stimulation, 5 minutes expression, 5 minutes stimulation, 5 minutes expression. Have a play around and see what your body best responds to get the most out of your pump. And to do that, you simply just hit that button to change. Now, once you are done pumping, so this is paused for me, we are going to want to turn our pump off. So you can either hit that finish button or we turn our pump off. Now, here's what we need to do. We need to break, imagine this is on here, break the seal gently with our finger and pull the pump forward. So lean forward, break the seal. You don't want to rip your nipple off with your pump. So that's why we break the seal and we lean forward because we don't want our breast milk going everywhere, especially with this fluid feel. So there will be residual breast milk at the base of your pump when you have finished pumping. So we simply place our pump down for a minute and let that milk go into the collection container. Once we have done that, we can remove our collection container. We simply unlock it and then pour into our storage container, whether that's your bottle or a milk storage bag. It can't stay in your pump. Once we've done that, we are ready to then disassemble our pump and clean it. Our pumping is done. So to clean it is warm, soapy water. You can also use your breast pump wipes if you have those, if you're just wanting a clean between pumps while you're at work and don't have access to warm soapy water. Great option as well. Then we are going to want to sterilize our pump parts. Now, ideally, we will use the boiling method, nice pot of warm boiling water, all the parts except for your pump motor. Because this does not come in contact with breast milk, it does not need to be cleaned. But any of these hard silicone, soft silicone parts, these all need to be pulled apart to be washed and sterilized. So we can use the boiling method for sterilization, which is simply put your parts in a nice large pot and boil them for 5 minutes. Place them on a nice clean dish towel to dry or in a dish rack. The other option we have, if you don't want to use warm soapy water, is we can place them top shelf in a dishwasher, and you also have the option to use one of these Medela Quick Clean steam sterilization bags. Now, it doesn't mention about using a sterilizer, bottle sterilizer. I'd assume as long as you are keeping it under the 110 degrees Celsius, it should be okay, but they do not mention it. So that is a personal preference, and it might be something where you do void your warranty. So do keep that in mind. However, they have mentioned you can use the Quick Clean microwave bags. And that is the Medela Magic pump. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask and I will do my best to answer them. And if you have found this helpful, please give me a big thumbs up. It really does help other mums see this content. And if you want more videos like this, hit that subscribe. Cheers.